Welcome everybody to another video of Ancient Greece Reloaded. Today we will talk about the famous Polydorus of Troy, a prince of Troy and the son of King Priam and Queen Hecuba, and the brother of Hector. By the way, if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so as to stay tuned for upcoming videos. Polydorus was the youngest son of King Priam of Troy and his wife King Hecabe. As King Priam had as many as 50 sons and 18 daughters, Polydorus would have had many siblings and half-siblings, but amongst the most famous of these siblings were the likes of Hector, Cassandra and Paris. As a side note, while Homer states that his mother was Laothoi, later sources basically suggest Hecabe. Moving on. It was Polydorus' brother Paris who brought destruction to the city of Troy, when the Achaean armada came to retrieve Helen, the wife of Menelaus, abducted by Paris. As the forces of Agamemnon gathered outside of Troy, Priam and Hecabe decided to send Polydorus away from the city, to the safety of Thrace, for there ruled Polymestor, a friend of Priam, and also a son-in-law, for Polymestor had married Iliona, a daughter of Priam. Thus, Polydorus, along with an amount of Trojan treasures, were sent for safekeeping to the court of Polymestor. Iliona was said to treat Polydorus as if he was her own son, raising him alongside her own son Deipylus. As we all know, the war would go badly for Troy, and when news arrived to Thrace of the fall of Troy, Polymestor decided to change his allegiance. He decided to align himself with the Achaeans, and so as to gain the Trojan treasure, Polymestor killed Polydorus. The killing of Polydorus would have been sufficient enough to enrage the Erinyes against Polymestor, for killing a guest and someone giving over for protection were crimes of the highest order in ancient Greece. But before the Erinyes could get involved, Polydorus' mother, Hecabe, had her revenge, for the body of Polydorus had washed up near the Achaean camp at Troy. Hecabe now knew of the treachery of Polymestor. Although Hecabe was a prisoner of the Achaeans, nevertheless, with the agreement of Agamemnon, Polymestor was lured to the Achaean camp, with promises of more Trojan treasures. Once in Hecabe's tent though, Polymestor was blinded with the bruises of Hecabe and the other Trojan women. The death of Polydorus at the hands of Polymestor is the most commonly told tale of Polydorus, but other Greek mythological tales provide different endings for King Priam's son, depending on the source. Homer in the Iliad tells of Polydorus dying by the spear of Achilles, the war having gone on for so long that Polydorus was old enough to aid at the defense of Troy. Another story tells of Polydorus dying outside the walls of Troy. The Achaeans had demanded that Polymestor give up Polydorus to them, and the Thracian king had done just that, with no thought of resistance. The Achaeans then brought Polydorus to Troy, calling for an exchange, Helen for Polydorus, but the Trojans refused, though not specifically King Priam, and as a result, Polydorus was stoned to death outside the city walls. Alternatively, a tale is told of Polydorus living on after the Trojan War. According to Hyginus Fabulae, the Achaeans learned of how Polydorus had been placed secretly into the care of Polymestor, and as the war raged on, emissaries were sent to bribe Polymestor to kill Polydorus. The offer of gold and the hand in marriage of Electra, the daughter of Agamemnon, were sufficient to induce Polymestor to murder the young prince. Polymestor, though, would end up killing his own son Deipylus by mistake, for Iliona had raised Deipylus as Polydorus and Polydorus as Deipylus, so that if anything had happened to either in childhood, a son could always be returned to Priam and Hecabe. Later, Polydorus, now a young man, would travel to Delphi to seek guidance from the oracle. The proclamation given by the oracle, though, was a confusing one, for Polydorus was told that his father was dead and his home city lay in ruins. Polydorus, who believed himself to be Deipylus, rushed home but saw that his home city was as he had left it and Polymestor was very much alive. A confused Polydorus went to his mother Iliona to tell her of the incorrect proclamation made by the oracle of Delphi. Now, Iliona had no other option but to tell the truth, and Polydorus became aware that he was not who he had thought he had been. More importantly, Polydorus became aware of the treachery of Polymestor, who willingly killed his own guest for money. Polydorus would thus have his own revenge upon Polymestor, for the Thracian king was blinded by Iliona and then killed by Polydorus. In this tale, nothing is said of what became of Polydorus afterwards, and it is most commonly said that the only son of King Priam to survive the war was Helenus. That being said, let us finish with the following saying. Nothing is easier than self-deceit, for what a man wishes to be true, he generally believes to be true. Demosthenes. That being said, remember guys to hit the like button and to subscribe to our channel, it would help us a lot. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for upcoming videos.